All right, everybody, we are back together for workout 2 for the week. This workout is going to focus back in on that band. So you want your handled band. If you have a variety, you may want to keep a couple around in case you feel like you can take that challenge up a little bit higher and switch out your bands. So the first block is one of our timed blocks where you're going to set your timer, and then you're going to start with 5 repetitions. Round 2, you're going to go up to 6 repetitions on everything. Round 3, you'll go to 7 repetitions, and so on. As many rounds as you can get in the 8 minutes or whatever the time is that you have. When you finish block 1, write down the last round that you finished, how many reps you were on. So if I got all the way to 9 and I finished 9 reps of everything, then I'm going to write down a 9, or just remember a 9 because you're going to need it for the end of the workout. So our band exercises. Number 1 is our lateral lunge, press, and wood chop. So we're combining a bunch of things. Both hands on, handles start at the chest. Lateral lunge first, press forward, and wood chop. Back to center, all the way. So the key on this one to remember is everything is separated, and most importantly, your wood chop only comes from the torso. Don't let the hips turn, or you're going to end up straining on the knees a little bit, inner and outer. We want to stabilize them, not rotate with them. So again, it's lateral lunge, press, rotate, back in, all the way to center. You're going to hit left and right. So if your starting number is 5, 5 left, then turn around 5 right. Next, we're going to take a step lunge into our fly. So we've done a lot of chest fly by itself, but we're going to step forward into our lunge. For most of us, especially if you're using a heavier band, you're going to start pretty close to your attachment behind you, and you may not feel much tension as you start. But remember that when you step lunge, you're coming out pretty far, and then pulling in for that lunge, or the fly, back to center, lunge, fly, back to center. 2 things. Number 1, obviously the farther you step, the more tension you're going to have on that fly. Keep your chest nice and tight as you step forward. If you keep your chest tight, you'll notice that your band comes with you. If you don't keep your chest tight, you will notice that your band stays behind you, and you get a really big strain, stretch through the chest. I don't want the stretch strain. So, keep the chest muscles nice and tight so that they come with you into that fly. The second thing that I want you to remember is that you've got to keep your abdominals nice and tight, or otherwise, when you try to bring your arms forward, your hips are going to go forward, your arms will stay back, and you're going to take that arch. So make sure the abdominals are nice and tight. That one is also a left and right. So if you have 5 reps, you're going to end up with 10 total flies, 5 lunges on each side. Next exercise, we did a couple times last week. And it is our straight leg deadlift with the high row. So remember, we take our straight leg deadlift, letting the band reach forward as the leg reaches back. To stand, nice high row, elbows as high as you can bring them. Stay on the same side on this one to hit all the repetitions before you switch legs. Excellent. The 4th and final exercise in block 1 does not involve your band. It is a good old burpee. Been a while, so we're going to take it today. Remember, it's just our squat, jump to plank, push up, jump the feet back in, and hop at the top. So full range on that. Squat, plank, push up, back to squat, nice big jump. Same number of reps as whatever rep count you are on for that round. Okay, then we move on to block 2. Block 2 is going to be all kettlebell if you have it. If you don't have it, use the heaviest dumbbell that you have. You will be fine on the first 4, and then we'll talk about our swing in a second. Kettlebell, first 30 seconds is our row on the left side. Nice and easy. Drop all the way down on that front leg so that your torso is as close to parallel as possible, and then freeze that torso. From there, we've just got that nice big row, fully extending the arm down, fully wrapping that elbow up and around the body. Notice my torso is not moving, so I'm not using momentum to come up. Go as long as you can without using momentum. When you get to that place where you have to use momentum to get it up, that's okay. Just keep everything nice and tight when you do have to use the legs a little bit. So, row on the left side first. Then we're gonna kettlebell squat on the left side, or dumbbell. All that means is I'm gonna take that dumbbell or the weight into my left side. Feet are about hip width, a little bit wider is okay. The most important thing on this one is that we are staying as straight as possible. So if I put a ruler across my shoulders, they're going to stay straight instead of letting the weight pull my shoulder down. So nice and straight, and I'm just gonna take a squat from here, staying as symmetrical as I can, all the way back up. The tough part about this one is this is what your body's gonna wanna do. Hips are gonna push out the other way, arm is gonna drag with that weight to the ground. So you're trying to stabilize, everything stays nice and straight. Then we switch sides. Drop that chest down, right side row. Then we take our right side squat, shoulders nice and straight, standing up nice and tall. The fifth and final exercise on this one is our alternating swing. So if you have your kettlebell, we're taking our kettlebell swing that we've done all the time, and we're alternating hands at the top. So when that weight gets weightless right up at the top, that's when you're gonna switch hands. Switch, switch. If you try to switch at the bottom, it's not the end of the world, but you've got that weight pulling you down. So your hand is actually holding a heavy weight. So when you try to switch hands there, it's a lot harder to do. When that weight is up in the front, it is basically weightless. So right before it comes down, it's really easy to take one hand off and put the other hand on. So alternating on that one for 30 seconds. If you don't have a kettlebell and you need to use a dumbbell, perfectly fine. All you're gonna do is stay on one side for 15 or halfway, and then switch arms and keep going. So it's the same movement, the same swing. I'm just gonna stay on one side. In about 15 seconds, I'm gonna switch arms from there. As a general reminder for everybody, the kettlebell swing comes from a hip hinge. It's hips out, hips forward, controlled by the squeezing of your glutes. It's not a squat, and it's not a lift from the arm. So make your hips coming forward, make that momentum, drive your arm forward. If all you feel are your shoulders, something's not right about your swing, send me a video and we will go through it. Okay, the final block, block 3, is a repeat of block 1. So you're gonna set your timer for the same amount of time. But this time you're gonna start from the number that you finished. So if I finished 9 repetitions on everything, I'm gonna start with 9, work my way backwards. So 9 repetitions on everything, then round 2 would be 8 repetitions, round 3 would be 7, and see if you can get back to that 5 or even back to the 4 on your countdown on your time. Okay guys, let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to hearing about how this workout goes. Lots of band, which means we're gonna have lots of shoulder and lots of core. So work it hard and let me know how it is. All right everybody, have a fantastic workout.